Hello, everybody. Welcome for today's show. This is John Jester coming to you from New Jersey Vibes. Okay, we're going to be featuring, as you guys know, we've been featuring different people from New Jersey and different people in different areas. Tonight's show is going to be all about taxes and money. Okay, a lot of times uh, some people tend to do their taxes. Some people don't do their taxes, and who knows why they do or do not do them. But I like to encourage people to make sure that they get their ducks and lined up in order. And if that means getting your taxes done, that means go ahead and get your taxes done. One of the things we're going to talk about tonight is I want to ask our special guest tonight. We have Mr. Irvin Perkins online, and a couple of things are going to ask him about some questions, and he's going to give you some tips for what you can do to get your taxes prepared, and what you can do actually prior to even seeing someone like him, what you can have, hopefully, I don't know if this is on your agenda, Irvin, but if you can let people know what they can do before they come to see their tax preparer, and at the end of the day, if you guys hang in there to the end, we're going to also let you know where you can go locally if you're here in New Jersey, in the Trenton, Lawrence area, where you can go to make contact with Mr. Perkins here and get your taxes done, as that will be coming up real soon within the next couple of weeks. All right, so I'd like to say welcome. Irvin, welcome here. Welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you very much. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Before we start talking taxes, I'd like to say that we go back many years, man. We go back a long time.
Yes.
Some of the people I talk to, I just meet, for the first time. But with you, we go back many years, man. So, yeah. If I can start out, I'm gonna let you talk about whatever you talk about. But if I can get a couple questions out to you, and I'm not sure if it's part of your process or not. If so, you can let me know when I ask, and then you can save it for your process. But one of the things I would like to help the audience out with is if you can explain to them why it's important for them to get their taxes done each year, why they should, and should they or should they not get it done before the 15th of April. Okay? Let's do one question at a time.
You should prepare your taxes every year. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because the IRS is now setting up a law where if you don't file your taxes within 2 years, when you do file your taxes the following year, you won't receive your tax return until you file your prior year taxes. Oh, wow. So whether you like it or not, you're going to have to file your taxes every year because they're going to make you now.
Oh, wow.
And also, it's also important because there's no such thing as a refund. A lot of people need to understand that. There is no refund because they already took the money out. You're just getting a portion back from what they already took from you. So you might as well get it as soon as possible. That's because true. It is your money that you're trying to get back. That's so true. It's not a refund. It is your money, and you're only going to get back a portion of it. You won't get all of it.
It's funny you mentioned that, too, because I look on the payment. It says overpayment, like as if the amount that you overpaid in taxes for the year. So it is on the paper there. I was like, I never understood why that was there, but it is. That makes a lot of sense. So we overpay the government taxes every year, and then they just give us money back. So they're getting a free loan on us then.
Yes, they are. Yes.
Yeah, so we should get our money back. So guys, get your money back as soon as possible. File right away and get your money back as soon as possible, okay?
And when you think about it, it's a free payday loan to the government.
Yeah.
Every payday.
Yeah.
And then you just raise payday loan charges.
Okay, so what things can they do to prepare? What would make it easier for you? Like, what should they? What would make it easier for you when they come to you into your office? They come in for you with their papers or whatever they need. What things do you need from them when they come to see you?
Well, then what you should have is a checkoff list or a preparation list. And I have one for them when they, like my new clients, when they come in,
Okay.
I have a checkoff list that they need to bring.
Okay.
So what I also tell my clients is that all year you should be thinking about your taxes because this is a one-day event.
Okay.
It's a huge event. This only happens once.
Mm-hmm.
You only get one chance. You got all year to do what you got to do for one day, and people don't even want to get all their stuff together to do that. So I try to encourage them to gather all your stuff all year long because you can never remember at the tax desk what you did all year.
Wow.
People can barely remember what they did in the last 45 minutes to an hour, only 20% of that.
Wow.
So how are they going to remember all the deductions and all the stuff they had all year long?
Right. So
they only remember when they leave the office, and then they say, "Oh, I forgot this. Oh, I forgot that."
mm-hmm.
So they got to write down their stuff as the deductions happen.
Okay. So can you recall maybe two things that's on that checklist that stands out to you that they can use?
Let me run a few things. So first thing for children who have daycare expenses,
Mm-hmm.
you write out the amount of what they pay for daycare expenses,
Okay.
tax ID number. Also have student loan interest.
Okay.
That needs to be accumulated. How much student loan interest books. You also have moving expenses, unemployment also. And you can have losses from casualties or theft.
Okay. Wow.
Things like, let's say, for example, you had a big thunderstorm and a tree damaged all the roof and destroyed all the roof, and the insurance didn't reimburse you all. While the rest of it you can write off.
Oh, wow.
That's a loss. A lot of people don't know about that. So there's a lot of things that you can write off
Yeah.
on this list. Also, you can deduct alimony, IRA contributions, gain sales from property, things like that, gambling winnings, things like that, out-of-pocket medical expenses,
Wow.
home mortgage interest, property taxes. They have to have all those things gathered up before they even come into office
Okay.
if they want their maximum refund.
Okay. So that
The more prepared you are, the more money you're going to get back from the IRS.
so that rolls right into what I was going to ask also. So yeah, that's good stuff because people that I be showing this to, a lot of them are entrepreneurs. They have home-based businesses.
Yes.
And is there any other tips you can give for someone that has a home-based
K1,
business?
yep, they have a K1 or LLC. That's when they need to go to a Staples or Quicken Books and have what they do on a daily or a weekly basis. And then once they do that, then they do a quarterly basis. And once they have the quarterly basis, then they can come in with it.
Okay.
Keep a daily log or a weekly log running constantly. Then each month, add that up. Now you have your month totals. Now you have all your monthly totals.
Okay.
Add up all your monthly totals, now have your yearly totals, and you just bring in your yearly totals.
Okay, good. Okay. Now, what about, I talk about this to people all the time. I believe that the taxes that you pay are probably one of the highest expenses that you pay from an employee, from your paycheck. And I like to encourage people to become entrepreneurs, more people to become entrepreneurs because of their tax breaks as becoming an entrepreneur. And I think that by adding a part-time home-based business to your job, if you work and you have a part-time home-based business, I think I'm not a tax person. I'm not a tax preparer. I'm not an accountant. But I've always seen that there to be benefits of having that part-time business in addition to your job for saving money on taxes or getting money back or being able to write more things off. How do you feel about that? Someone working part-time with a business and working full-time as a job and putting it together in order to save taxes.
That's a good idea. The only drawback for the tax client is that the fees going to be higher because, of course, there's more forms to be filed.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with filing more forms. It's Schedule C or 2106.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I encourage the clients to start their business, and I also tell them to start many businesses as you can think of, and then once the ones that take off the most is the ones you want to keep.
Right.
Also, on the deductions, that can include in Schedule A. So if you have your main home, and then you have a business, and then you have a store, which is another mortgage, now you can deduct that mortgage, both mortgages, along with your supplies, deductions, the depreciation of your cars, equipment. So there's a lot of advantages of following or having a small business.
Awesome.
And it's also go with a sole proprietor instead of corporation. But once you get into corporation, S Corp, C Corp, now you're talking thousands of dollars just to prepare your tax return. Mm-hmm. Whether you make $100 million or $100.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of money you make doesn't matter. It's charged for the forms. Right. So if you are going to do a business, you got to be serious about an S Corp and a C Corp because the taxes are very, very expensive.
Right. Okay. Wow. Well, that's good to know. and one more thing, because I had to encourage people. There's people out there that they like to do their taxes themselves. Okay, and I know there's advantages of having someone like you doing their taxes versus them doing it themselves. Can you tell them what advantage you have that you can benefit them versus them doing it on their own?
Yeah, I'm not a bragger, but I got 17 years of experience and 17 years of schooling and 17 years of training. Okay. Really, that's all that needs to be said right there. But seriously, on a better note, the person who's doing their tax return for the first time, there is no way they're going to get their amount of refund that they deserve to get because they don't know the laws. You have to know the laws. You have to have some type of knowledge, not only on the software, but the rules, regulations. They change every year. You have to go do tax update every year because the law changes, just like the healthcare. Well, that's changing. Everything changes. So if you're not educated in this system, it's just like somebody who's not a mechanic trying to put on some brakes. Stop. You ain't stopping. You're going to keep going. It's the same thing with scenario with the taxes. If you're not efficient in taxes, you're not going to get all your money back. You might end up ripping yourself off, and usually that's what happens. Or you make a mistake, and then you get IRS letters. Now you want to pay even more money with penalty and fines. So it's best to get a tax preparer. Like what I do, I could go back 3 years of your tax returns and make sure they were done right. Okay. Yep, and I do that free of charge. But if there's any more forms to be filed, of course you have to pay for the forms.
Right. Okay. All right. And you're located, where are you located at so that people know where you are?
At Lawrenceville Shopping Center, which is 2495 US Route 1 at the Lawrenceville Shopping Center. And my phone number is 609-912-0451.
Awesome.
Set an appointment at any time. I'll be glad to look at 3 years because we only go back 3 years. The IRS only goes back 3 years.
Okay. All right. And I know you had some papers there that you had showed earlier. Is there anything specific you wanted to go over and show and point out to the audience?
Let's talk a little bit about the employees. Okay. Some of the employee expenses. You can definitely write off your automobile. That's why you see a lot of CEOs driving around in these $100,000 Mercedes-Benz.
Wow.
Because you can put it off. Wow. Why not? I mean, if you can write it off, go and drive in style and write it off. That's the advantage of having a business.
Yeah.
Yep, so you can write off your auto. You can write off your entertainment expenses. So let's say you want to take somebody to a Sixers basketball game and conduct a business transaction. You know, like they do in golf, where you do it at a basketball game or some type of event or entertainment event, and you're conducting your business. Well, you can write that off. You know, you're going to feed them dinner. You might buy them, I don't know if you do the alcohol. You feed them dinner, things like that. You can write that off as a business expense. Okay. Also, job-seeking expenses. So, publications. So there's a lot of things that you can write off that people don't know about. Office in the home, you can write off your office. You got your telephone in your office, you can write that off. You can have a separate account, a phone pay for your business.
Wow, nice.
I know you're going to get your statement every month. Your write is right there.
Mm-hmm.
You also any type of safety equipment, tools, equipment. Your computer every 4 or 5 years, you got to get a new one, so you depreciate that.
Yeah.
So you depreciate a lot of equipment. If you didn't have a business, you had to buy this equipment. You spend a lot of money. Now you can save the money by depreciating.
Okay.
So basically, you're off at 60-70% off when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Because of depreciation. So that's a big savings right there. Like in uniforms, you're cleaning, you can even have a gift. You can also write that off. Small gifts, like you can have a pencil with your company logo on it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh,
or,
yeah.
you know, the magnets that they put on the refrigerators.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Little business card magnets, stuff like that. Little gifts. You can also write those off.
Nice.
There's a lot of stuff that you can write off versus a non-business.
Yeah.
Or I would call just the individual tax preparer or individual client.
Okay.
Versus with a Schedule C or a K1.
Yeah. What about homeowners with mortgages? What can they do with mortgages? Right off. Anything? Taxes?
Well, they got a law now where you only write off 2 mortgages. Anything more than that, you can't really write off no more. So they're cutting back. And the reason why they're doing that is because they're saving money. They have actuary tables. So what the IRS can do, they know exactly how much money they can get the following year by adjusting these tables they have. Or a law, I can say a law where the new limit now is $96,000, where before it was $92,000. So they can change anytime, anywhere on all these tax forms to get the money that they want for the following year.
Oh, wow.
So they use actuary tables.
Wow. Wow. This is good. I'm learning this stuff myself. So I hope you guys are listening. I hope you guys are paying attention. And just
You're also going to do that with the earned income credit. You're going to see that now.
The earned income credit.
That's where the biggest fraud going on, and this is where the IRS is doing all their investigations. Because let's say, for example, you're going to use a business. Let's say they're going to start a business doing hair.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that going on. Hair, cleanings, those kind of business. So they say they made $12,000 a year and they had 2 kids. Well, now they're going to get the earned income credit of over $4,000, $5,000 just for having those 2 children.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So now people are going saying, I don't want to make no more than X amount of dollars because my earned income credit gets low and my refund, I'm no longer getting $8,000 refund now. That's the mentality that they're thinking. $20,000 is not a good thing because my refund will get lowered.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
IRS is catching on to this. Another example that they use, let's say they have a lady with 2 kids, and she's going to give her kids to someone else to claim, and that person in return gives them $500. That's a lot of that's going on. And then they use a different address or a different school system so they can get the for the child care and all this. They're just using all kind of ways. This is loophole after loophole after loophole to try to close. Basically. So there's fraud you can commit doing taxes, and they're trying to cover that up now.
All right, guys. So I hope you guys are listening to that, paying attention, because I've heard of some of those things happening, particularly lending your kid to your ex. You know, your
anyone to our friend, close friend.
Wow.
Yeah, close friend, because you know when you get that refund, that other person can take off. So I ain't giving you nothing. Bye.
Oh, wow. That is crazy.
Somebody close.
Wow, that is crazy.
Because once they get their refund, they don't have to pay that person.
Wow.
That's the money. I ain't got to do nothing. It's my money now. See ya.
And I'm sure that's happened too.
It's got to be a close personal friend in order to get that social security number and that date of birth of that child out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And there's consequences right there. Why you want to give your social security number and the date of birth of a child to someone else?
Yeah. Wow.
You know? So come on, they can use that number later on down the line.
Wow.
don't know it. So now, 4 or 5 years now, hey, let me see if I can claim this child. If I file first, I can get the claim.
Yeah.
That's another reason why people should file very first immediately. Let's say you have a husband and wife split up, or boyfriend girlfriend split up, and child split up. And you know how the dads are; they greedy for money too. So the dad wanted to claim the child that he ain't really taking care of. If he files first and get that money, and then the woman who's taking care of the child, taking the daycare, files and gets rejected because it was already claimed. So now she has to take that child off the tax return, file without him, wait the 6 to 8 weeks and mail it in, and then get a hearing.
Wow.
So she was getting $5,000-$6,000 back every year. Now she ain't getting nothing back. She got to wait until August.
Wow.
So that just messed her whole life up.
Wow.
So there's a lot going on in taxes.
Yes. Wow. That is crazy, man. It's a lot. People are always doing something, man. So when is the earliest? I know people their documents begin to come out towards the end of January. So when is the earliest that you'll be there?
The second or third week that W-2s start to come in. Okay. And third week, usually their statements from the bank statements to come in. Usually their stock stuff coming last.
Okay. Okay. So when will you be? When will you be in the office? How soon will you be there? January 1st.
Yep. It's when we officially open.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So you're making phone calls, answering questions, stuff like that.
Okay.
Setting up appointments.
All right.
Once taking looks. Yep. And then once it starts rolling, it gets real hectic for the first 2 weeks of January.
Okay.
All the way through the first week of February. Then it dies.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last week of March is all hectic again, but totally different clients.
Wow.
Because now you got the people who owe.
Wow. Wow. So maybe after the tax season, we can have another conversation like this to talk about people getting them prepared for those clients that you work with, to help them get prepared to come see you for the following year.
The main ones is the ones who know they think they're going to be owing.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are the ones who need to be prepared the most. The ones who get earned income credit and all that, it isn't really much of a preparation because all that's free money. Okay. That's free government money.
Okay.
Those people only pay maybe about $400 or $500 in income tax withheld. Okay. And their refund is like $8,000. That's why a lot of people get upset.
Okay. Wow.
Yep. Yes, because my taxpayer dollars, your taxpayer dollars is paying for that.
Yeah.
Paying for people who only want to work $12,000 a year to get the maximum earned income credit.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, they can do so much better.
That thought level process needs to be changed. You want to make $200,000 a year.
Exactly.
Income credit. They can keep earned income credit.
Yeah.
But they got us thinking backwards.
Yeah.
It's about how much money you make, not the refund.
Yeah.
Who cares about a refund? It's about how much money you making.
Unfortunately, a lot of people rely on the refund and they live off that. Yeah.
Some can't survive without it.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Especially the earned income credit people.
Wow.
Yep, they can't survive without it. They need that.
Wow.
And that's totally going to disappear.
Wow. So this is this has been good for me, guys. I hope you guys are listening. Hope you guys are paying attention. I got some good tips here, and I hope you guys got some good tips for what to get prepared before you go see Mr. Perkins out there. Again, his address, he's going to be in the office as of the 1st of January, and his telephone number and address. Again, give that out again, dear Irv.
Cell phone number is 609-273-9004. All right. Office number 609-912-0451.
Awesome. Now, this is a question I'm just throwing at you, and you don't. This was not planned. Okay.
That's all right.
Between you and I, we don't know, but is if someone watching this, because we got viewers that's going to be watching. Someone watching this that's not a customer of yours now, and they watch this and be like, okay, I want to give this guy a call. Is there anything we can do for them to give them a gift, something that you can write off, a pen, a discount, a book, a calendar, or something that you can give them if they gave you a code word from JerseyVibes.com and said, "Hey, I
Oh,
seen you
sure.
on it."
We have a lot of financial DVDs. We can get one of them.
Okay.
A bunch of them.
Okay.
You know, finance.
All right. So what can we what can we tell them if they see you? They can say what would be a code word? Hey, I seen you on JerseyVibes.com, or what would you like to I seen your interview on the website, or what would you like for them to say to you?
Whatever you want it to be, we can make it. Doesn't matter.
All right.
Yep.
Well, all right, guys.
Yep.
Well, you contact Irvin at his office. You call him up, or if you go visit him in person, just say, hey, you seen the interview on JerseyVibes.com, and now please have my financial DVD, okay? All right,
We
guys.
got that DVD on finance.
Yes. All right.
Finance and taxes go hand in hand.
Yes, they do. I agree.
Yes, they go hand in hand. You gotta have knowledge of both.
I agree.
Finance and the knowledge of taxes.
Yeah, it's one thing to make the money. It's one thing to get a return. But
Yes,
it's very
you gotta
important.
realize the people who have the knowledge and know the knowledge and use it against us don't want you to know.
Exactly. Yeah. That's right.
That's a lot of what's going on. So a lot of this is misleading, misled, and there's a lot of information they're not going to tell you, but you got to go find it yourself.
Gotta find it yourself.
Yes.
So, on that note, find it yourself. I'm going to end this right here. All right. So you guys going out there and give Irvin a call. Stop by his office. You got his telephone number. You have his address. Make sure you check him out. He has a lot of knowledge to pass on to you. 17 years of doing this. Okay.
Yes.
And, you have to do things for yourself. It's one thing that we have to learn how to do is start doing things for ourselves. You can't rely on the mayor, can't rely on the governor, can't rely on the president. You got to do things for yourself, and it starts right here with your money. Might as well learn from someone who has a lot of knowledge in finance and preparing your taxes and putting things together for you. This can be a start for you. You got to start somewhere, so get your taxes done. That's right. All right. So this is John Jester with Irvin Perkins. Irvin, thank you for coming on and giving us this awesome thing. And we got to do this again in the future sometime, brother. All right? And you and I, we have other things we have to talk about also, okay? So this is John Jester. I'm signing out for the evening. You guys have a great day, and thanks for watching. And I'll talk to you guys on the next interview. This is John Jester with JerseyVibes.com signing out. Peace. Bye-bye.